Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Scott Sports 101. I'm Scott Trella. We're going to talk Guardians, we're going to talk and the Browns and training camp and their upcoming first preseason game. We'll get to all that, but first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 trivia question. And it is a Major League Baseball trivia question. Who was the first Indian to plow 50 home runs in a season? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, over the weekend, Donald Trump's ultimatum, just from a week ago, uh, to Washington's NFL team, reinstate the team's old uh, uh, racy named uh, characterizing uh, ignorance of people of the Redskins or risk losing out on a new stadium in D.C., but that's next to nothing. And the authorization threat in which Trump also pressed for a name change for the Cleveland Guardians, who were formerly known as the Indians and used racist character, a racy character for their mascot, stepped on the plans of his home party, uh, Rep, Republican James Comer, RKY, has been using Congress authority over laws, most in the laws in the nation's, capital to pressure the D.C. Council into hastily approving a new stadium. But that's next to nothing. I don't know why I saw that, but it's probably next to nothing. It's probably not even gonna take place. It's next to nothing because it's probably like controversial stuff. So uh, it's I wanted just to share that with you, but think of it as next to nothing. But the trade deadline is come and gone. The Guardians traded veteran pitcher Shane Bieber to the Toronto Blue Jays. weren't Because they weren't sure if he was going to be able to return after recovering from Tommy John surgery, and in return the Guardians got uh, their top prospect from 2024, Carl Steffen, who has been on injuries uh, due to who's been on injury due to his 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 due to his I think a hamstring or something. I can't remember. I think it was a knee injury or something. I can't remember, but I'll keep you posted. But uh, and they also traded and the Guardians also traded Paul Sewald, pitcher Paul Sewald, to the Detroit Tigers for a player to be named later. Those were the only trades that the Guardians made in this MLB trade deadline. They did not trade Stephen Kwan. They held on to him, which I thought was a good thing in a way, and because we need him, and I think his price was a little too much, and I just feel it was smart to hold on to Kwan. And right now, we're going to take a look at the Major League scoreboard right now. And the Guardians are up against the Mets tonight. It's the top of the ninth in Detroit, where the Minnesota uh, Twins are up by three on the Detroit Lions, 6-3. And there's two outs, and it's an 0-1 count. And I think it's Detroit is batting in the bottom of the ninth. Yes. And boy, the Athletics all over the Washington Nationals today are all over them right now. It's top of the ninth, 16-3. I don't think there's no chance of Washington coming back to win this, but we'll wait and see. It's the top of the ninth in Boston. They're up 6-2 on KC. There's one out there. And right now it's top of the ninth in New York as the Guardians are up by one, clinging to a one-run lead, 3-2 over the Mets. It's a 3-2 count. The Guardians are batting. There's two outs now, so the Guardians are down to their final out. Uh, So we'll see if the Guardians can hold on to get the win. It's the top of the seventh in Atlanta there, and Milwaukee's up 5-1 in Atlanta with 2 outs left. And the Brewers are coming up to bat. And bottom of the fifth, scoreless in Texas between the Yankees and Rangers. It's the bottom of the fifth. The Reds and Cubs tied at 1. They're in Chicago, Wrigley Field playing that. And the Rockies in the top of the fourth are up 2-1 on Toronto. And the games from today, there are 3 finals. The San Francisco Giants are just walloping Pittsburgh right now. The Pirates 8-1. The Houston Astros San Francisco beat Pittsburgh 8-1. Excuse me. The Houston Astros beat the Miami Marlins in Miami 7-3, and the Philadelphia Phillies shut out Baltimore at home 5-0. And later on this evening, Tampa Bay will take on the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim in LA. The Chicago White Sox will take on the Seattle Mariners. The San Diego Padres will take on Arizona, and at 10:10, the St. Louis Cardinals will be in LA to take on the LA Dodgers. So that's the scoreboard, and we'll see if the Guardians, it's the middle of the ninth, and the Mets are coming up to bat, and we'll see if the Guardians can hold on and get the win. We'll get to the Browns in just a moment. Right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scout Sports 101 Major League Baseball trivia question. Who was the first Indian to pop 50 home runs in a season? If you said Albert Bell, you are correct. In his 7th season in Cleveland, Bell hit 52 home runs in 95. It was only 50 home run season. His only 50 home run season. Jim Thome was next when he hit 52 in 2002 for the Tribe before they became the Guardians, and it was his 12th and final season with Cleveland before signing as a free agent with the Phillies for 2003. The others listed never played for the Indians, and that was before they were the Guardians. I have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Now moving on to the Browns. The Browns quarterback Martin Emerson Jr. suffered an injury to his left Achilles tendon. They have lost him for the year. During the training camp on Tuesday last week, and reported Mike Garafolo from NFL Network, Emerson will undergo an MRI, and he did to determine if the injury was more serious, whether it was to determine the severity of the Achilles injury, but it was more serious than what they thought. But Garafolo noted that it is believed to be a significant tear, and it is. So the cornerback was taken off the practice field on Tuesday of last week after sustaining the injury, and it is more serious than what they thought. So Emerson will miss the entire upcoming season, as will Deshaun Watson, who will miss most of it. He was trying to plant his foot on the ground during a play while covering receiver Dante Johnson. It was a non-contact injury. Emerson's stay in 2025 is in jeopardy, as he could miss the entire year. And if the team is substantial, and then this is also an important year for Emerson, as he is going to miss the entire season, and he is entering the final year of his rookie contract. And the Browns had their second week of training camp last week, and last week marks the first time the team will put on the pads. They put on the pads for the first time last week. News recently broke that Pickett is dealing with an injury. What opens the door for more reps to be distributed among Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Speaking of Sanders, he made a strong impression this past week, and it had nothing to do with football. and uh, and the Browns had day 9 of training camp, but he was really showing Sanders was really showing some great stuff in poise, and he really wants to prove that he can be a starter. So now the Browns had a day 9 of training camp this past weekend, and early morning injury precautions before practice. Head coach Kevin Stefanski announced that cornerback Greg Newsome landed funny on his shoulder after breaking up a pass on Friday of last week and would sit out the next day's practice to rest it. He said that DE Miles Garrett would be held out of practice as a precaution. Also, QB Kenny Pickett would continue to work in individual drills only. Now, uh, defensive end Miles Garrett was back on the field, and he is doing very well. He's really throwing some great. He's really catching some great practice and making some great plays. Kenny Pickett's injury is not that serious, and he could return, but Dylan Gabriel is dealing with a hamstring injury. So hopefully we get Pickett and Gabriel back. But I think it's more likely that Joe Flacco will be the starting quarterback for Week 1 against the Bengals. Now here was the drill of the day. Who said he's not a blocker? Here is a clip of tight end Harold Fannin Jr. holding his own in a blocking drill against safety Ron Hickman. You can see that clip on Dog by Nature on the Cleveland Browns page, Google page, excuse me. And they had basic fun. I know it's such a basic catch and throw, but we haven't had a chance to mention tight end David Njoku. David Njoku's name this camp yet. The Browns have signed, but Njoku has really made some plays in this training camp. Now, the Browns have signed, this happened today, the Browns have signed quarterback Tyler Huntley to the practice squad, adding depth to with multiple passers nursing injuries. Now, Cleveland is holding a quarterback competition among 4 players: Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. However, all but Flacco have recently been sidelined because of injuries, and but I still feel that Flacco will be able to will be the Week 1 starter. I do feel that he will be, and my buddy Keith in Lakewood feels that he will as well. So excuse me, and and so I just wanted to, and I really think that he will. He will be able to, and uh, and because I really think we will get the quarterbacks that are, we will get them back. Now, Pickett hasn't practiced fully since entering his hamstring July 26th, and Gabriel was limited on Monday because of of hamstring tightness, and Sanders, who was held out of team drills Saturday because of arm soreness, but returned to full uh, participation Monday. The Browns are holding joint practices in Charlotte, North Carolina, with the Carolina Panthers on Wednesday ahead of Cleveland's preseason opener on Friday. And Browns coach Kevin Stefanski said Monday that the team was still working through plans for joint practices as well as the preseason opener. Now, Huntley, 27, was with the Browns at training camp last year and was one of the 4 quarterbacks on the 53-man roster. But a few days later, after the roster was cut down, after the roster cut down deadline, he was traded to Miami and played for Miami last year, and they beat us, as you might recall. He beat us because he was and Huntley and he had went 2 and 3 and 5 starts with the Miami Dolphins, and he beat us last year, as you might recall. And the Browns also have quarterback Deshaun Watson physically unable to perform, as you know. Uh, List as he rehabs his right Achilles tendon injury that the team is expected to sideline him for most of the 2025 season. And I think at some point the Browns will part ways with Watson. They will do that because I don't think we're going to be holding on to him much longer. I don't think. But the Browns will have their preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers this Friday at 7 o'clock, and I don't know what time. I do know it will be televised, uh, but I don't know what station will be on it. I think it'll be on Channel 5, I think. It might be on Channel 5, but we'll wait and see. I will let you know. So, I have to have a recap of it, though. So, but the Browns preseason game this Friday at 7 o'clock in Charlotte, North Carolina. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for this edition of Scott Sports 101. And I'll be back this weekend or next week with another podcast. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.